Hi, it's James Willoughby. Welcome back to the Realty Roundup. We look at what's happening every week in the Austin real estate market. This is April 1st, 2025. So we get to see what's happening at the beginning of the spring market. And I'm excited to show you some statistics and kind of lay out what's happening for this year. So our total active listings here, we jumped from 11,134 to 11,515 last week. So I wouldn't necessarily call that a significant jump. The reason why is this is the time of the year where we build inventory. People, we're past spring break. We're in the spring market. It's the beginning. And if you're going to sell, the early bird gets the worm, they say. So there's a lot of people trying to be the early bird all of a sudden. Now, this graph here is showing us the new active listings. Last week, we had almost 1,227 to be exact. The last time we had that many was, not that long ago, right before spring break. So in spring break, we got people that go on the market before spring break. You can see it really dips at the week of spring break, and then it comes back the next week. So we are putting a lot of inventory on the market. Let's take a look at what's happening in the world of pendings, the most important thing. The first thing you have to do to get your home sold is get it under contract, right? So this is showing the contracts that are coming in every week as reported on the MLS. So we were just under 900 last week, or the week before rather, and then last week we broke the 900 barrier. Which fully shows me that the spring market is in full swing because that's the highest level we've had. And I wouldn't be surprised if we have a few weeks that we're over 1,000 homes go pending in our MSA. So that's the good news. And let's look at absorption rate. So been watching me for a while, you'll know that I always talk about absorption rate, and that's kind of a big deal. Absorption rate being based on the current inventory and the current number of pendings each week. How many weeks would it take to absorb all that inventory? So despite the fact that we went up in inventory over 400 units, our weeks of inventory just rose just a hair, right? So it's pretty flat. We're at just under 13 weeks. Now comparing to this time last year, we only had just under 10 weeks. And then you go the year before, which would be 2023, we only had 7.8. So you can see the market for the last several years, was better than it is currently in terms of the absorption rate. And I can tell you this, there's a lot of time, it's been in a lot of markets, because I've been doing this quite a while, where we'd be very happy with the 12 and 13, week absorption rate. So that's not bad. It's not as good as it's been. And we just have to get used to being in a normal market. Normal is somewhere in between the good and the bad, right? So that's the normal. So we're not in a bad market. We're not in an amazing market either. We're just in a normal market. Taking a quick look at the interest rates. Looking at Freddie Mac's rates from last week on March 27th, it just notates that we were down by 2 basis points, which is not a significant downtick. Yet rates remain at a pretty good low because it's been this low for, 12 or 13 weeks. We've been on a slide downward, and you can see that rates have been sub 7% for many, many weeks. So despite the chaos that we're seeing everywhere else in the news media, interest rates are cooperating. So we're here at the beginning of the spring market. We've got as good a rates as we're probably going to see all year right now. We've got a nice selection of inventory. We're seeing a decent flow of pending sales. If your home is for sale and it's not moving, it's either going to be the price or the condition or maybe a combination of the both. The sellers are being very competitive. Homes that we put on the market 2 and 3 weeks ago are getting beat out by homes that just went on the market because they came in a little bit lower than us. And we thought we were the low price at the time. So we're having to make a few price adjustments and improving the price to get people to buy. But I do think that as sales pick up, maybe it'll firm up a bit. But in any case, if you're a buyer, you got the best selection that you're going to have for the year in the next several weeks. So anyway, if you're a seller, if you're a buyer, take advantage of the situation. We'll talk to you next week. Thanks so much.